Okay.
All right.
Think we're live.
It was still counting minutes because it say 9 minutes on your screen.
I know it continued.
Mhm.
Hmm. Technical difficulties if anybody's there. Retrograde like a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Amari, can you bring me my charger, babe? Amari. Stop yelling. Bring me my phone charger, please.
Oh, we're live.
So are we live? Like for live for
Oh,
real?
yeah, we're live.
Thank you,
Okay.
baby.
All right. Hey, y'all. It's 6 people out here. Hello, Karma's a businesswoman.
I can't see anybody. I wonder why I can't see the chat.
I do not know.
Okay,
you
now
saw it last time we did this.
Okay, I had to click on something. You know, it's Mercury retrograde, so I'm a little slow too. It's like what? I had to click the right button. I got it though.
Okay, peace, Deuce, and DeMarcus' mom. Peace, Portia. So we've been sitting here like 10 minutes. We're gonna have to edit this. We've been sitting here about 10 minutes talking about what was we talking about?
How you doing, Portia? We just gonna have to start over. That's all. We just gonna have to start over.
Let's just start over. All right. Hey, welcome to Magick and Oshun Offset Mayat. I am Magic Laquad. That is my guest, Oshun. We're doing it again. We're just going to talk about some things here. Thanks for joining us on this. Is today Thursday? What's today? My day is running together.
Yeah, it's Thursday.
Thursday. This day of Jupiter. You see, I got on purpose. So, we was talking about sex magic.
Okay.
And the retrograde. And a couple other things.
Yeah, what you had asked me was, you know, what did we want to talk about? Because I want to talk about love, sex, and magic, but I want to kind of talk about it too because I believe it's probably what's going to be relevant for the next, for people for the next, I would say 3 to 4 weeks, maybe or more so, because of where the planets are. Like even today, like you're a Virgo, which is a planet ruled by Mercury, and we had like a Mercury kind of snafu, right? So we can see how it's influencing you, how it's influencing us. So I like to talk about what's relevant because that's the energy, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was saying before that hello everybody who I didn't get to say hello to Wanda, Spicy Peach, Elegant Granny. I still like that name. Ori. No matter how I prepare, it's just no matter what, Mercury is going to affect me when it goes retrograde. So I avoid people, I avoid crowds, because people also get extra retarded during the Mercury retrograde.
They do.
You know what I mean? They really do. So, but we was talking about, not to be so crass, but we was talking about just straight fucking and how that can have an effect. Take it away.
Well, what the conversation is because while we're talking about sex, why is this relevant? Well, the sun is in Libra and the moon, which governs our emotions. And when it's a new moon, it brings in new things. So we have the moon also in the sign of Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet, obviously, that deals with love and what we value. And Libra rules the 7th house. The 7th house is about partnerships, relationships. Even contracts are also governed under the energy of Libra. So it's relevant issues that are going to be coming up because we have Mercury, like you just said. When Mercury goes retrograde, he turns into the trickster, right? So he naturally governs communication, our thoughts, our words, short distance travel, things like technology and contracts and words. So when he goes retrograde, people sometimes have conflicts, they have war of words, people misunderstand each other, things break down, people forget stuff. So when Mercury's in Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the genitals, right? Scorpio kind of rules that sacral kind of root chakra area. So so Mercury going retrograde in Scorpio is going to bring up issues, sometimes issues that are related to sex, that are related to relationships. Okay. And then all this is happening under the energy of partnership, right? Which is that Libra energy. So I'm thinking, like, what is the best way to use this energy in a conductive way and benefit from it, from the difference from people who are just being affected by it? Like, I'm always about, what is the power in what I know? How can I apply these facts and figures and this information and these principles into my life in an active and productive way to better my life? I mean, a lot of people who just know, oh, they know things about Libra, they know things about Sagittarius, but they're not applying it in their life. And this, it's just information, it's not knowledge.
Okay. Interesting. So what do you propose? What do you think there's some things that we can use this energy in a productive way? What can we do? Do you have any suggestions for the people out here who's watching us?
I think that this is one of the best times for healing, but we have to understand that a lot of healing, especially under the energy of Scorpio, which is about rebirth and death also. So a part of it is about what we need to release, what we need to let go of, right? In order to go through that rebirth and experience that cathartic healing. So you talked about it, you said it a minute ago. So what were you going to talk about? Just straight fucking. Some people might do just start straight fucking, right? Because it's going to trigger that chakra. Okay. So it may activate a person to go do some straight fucking, but straight fucking don't have to be straight fucking. We can fuck with knowledge. Okay. We can fuck with understanding, because there was once a time when me and you was probably just straight fucking, right? You got to straight fuck before you can have tantric sex or sex magic. Like, it's a progression. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, how do I use this energy to heal my relationship wounds, to heal my sexual wounds, so thereby making my relationships and my sexual experiences stronger? What issues is underneath the surface that I need to work with, that I need to heal? We can even see it relevant in what's happening in the media, right? You got Megan Thee Stallion, who represents the black femme fatale, the black woman, and then you have this issue with Tory Lanez, who's a Leo and she's an Aquarius, right? Where he shot her, right? So what is that? Old relationship issues with somebody you had sex with, because she said that we weren't in a relationship, but y'all was probably just straight fucking, right? You see what straight fucking folks can get you?
Yeah, come here. Let me bend your ass over and let me hang you off this bed.
Nowadays, okay, that pussy wasn't wet enough. Bam. He found it to be quite dry. I'm sorry, it's not funny. God knows.
It is funny. No, that shit is fucking hilarious.
He shot at her. I'm sorry. He shot at her. He didn't actually shoot. Let me rephrase.
Oh,
no, I don't have no sense. I'm sorry.
He shot her right in the foot and shit. Shot her in the ass.
You're so wrong, man. You're wrong.
All right. I'm stupid. Let's bring it back.
But that's a prime example of the shit that needs to be addressed. Okay.
Oh, my stomach hurt.
I had a good laugh today. Okay. Oh my God. I'm gonna laugh about that all night. Okay.
Oh, somebody said door pause.
drunk per
Megan is a drunk.
coming. Okay, regardless of how drunk she was, something happened. Where there is smoke, boo, there is fire. Okay.
Megan is a drunk. Curtis is coming out from Cardi's party. Okay, so I didn't know that. I didn't know she was drunk or whatever.
So a drunk person don't know. You know how many drunk people I know this and got shot and shot at? Right. Matter of fact, the strip club around here in the hood, they just a whole bunch of people with drunk folks just got shot outside. Being drunk has never stopped a bitch from getting shot, nor has it encouraged you to get shot unless everybody drinking, which it sounds like they were.
Yeah. Yeah. So wait, did he shoot her or not shoot her? Because I heard he shot her.
He shot at her.
He shot at her.
Yeah. That's I guess that's up to debate, you know.
Oh, okay. So anyway, we're talking about healing, right? Sexual healing.
Yes. Don't go beat up your mate. Okay. Some arguments, you know. Mercury arguments too, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, people beware, because I find myself getting real cynical during the retrograde, and I don't mean to be. So tempers will flare. But I want to go back to that point that you said, not just straight fucking, but then fucking with a purpose, some sex magic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's do manifestation. Let's manifest some money or a business or something. You know what I mean? Somebody said getting shot at will sober you up quick. I imagine so.
I bet your ass ain't
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
You're sober as
hell. Where were we going with that?
About sex magic and tantric sex and how we can use that energy and this energy in a more productive way than
Tantra. That's a sacred science that a lot of people need to tap into. It's not something that you can go right into. At least not in my opinion. But Tantra, ritual sex, or even just, thinking at the moment of orgasm, thinking of your goal, that can actually cause something to manifest itself also.
Right.
Any other suggestions you got?
Well, yeah, what do you think about the difference between like sex magic and tantric sex? Because I think there's a difference between the two.
Tantra is you're building with your partner. It's a whole ritual thing you have to do. It's mostly for you and your partner. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's magic that's going to be created, but it's to have a deeper connection with a more spiritual connection with your partner, whoever your sexual partner is, your spouse, your fuck friend, whatever. Sex magic, on the other hand, is like for a goal. Like I want to manifest winning the lottery, or we need this house. Let's manifest a house or whatever. But that's the main difference for me. I can't think of really anything else though, but sex magic also can be done solo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can you do tantra solo? I don't think you can. But that's the main difference. What's your thoughts on it? I could be wrong.
I agree with you, but I would expand on, as far as like with me, my understanding of tantric sex is, like you said, it's more about you and your partner connecting, but on a deeper level, tantric sex, like the word tantra means to weave or to bring together. Right. So tantric sex is about like bringing you two together, but it also the people begin to experience healing. That Kundalini energy starts rising, and they raise their vibration, they raise their level of consciousness. Okay, let's think about straight fucking, or people fucking and have power but don't understand what they're doing. Like all of this sex magic and stuff that happens in the music industry, right? You think about how they have these parties or these orgies, and people think about it as just being like, oh, this is like fiendish sexual things, but no, a lot of times this is occult shit that they're doing. Aleister Crowley was really big on having orgies and sex magic and, you know, all of that stuff. So a lot of times these people, right, even if you don't know, either you're being used, it's like you got this power, somebody's going to use it, right? So these people, they get these like energies placed on them, right? This is just what the spirit is showing me. Like these women, who are just out here straight fucking, you don't know, you're not protecting yourself, you're not cleansing yourself, and you're looking at these men with these eyes because they got money or they got jewelry or they're flashy or they got some kind of status, right? So you have sexual relations with them, and then all the spiritual shit that they're carrying it around, now it's on you. Now this succubus, incubus, this type of entity, this low vibratory, because there's different levels to succubus and incubus. It's not all bad, but a lot of times these people are working with low vibratory type entities or degraded forms of these sexual deviant entities and energies. So you come into contact with this person through sex, through your straight fucking without full knowledge, and now you got this energy on you and it's changing you subtly. Now you preoccupied with sex, and now you're doing these things because now you've got this energy over you, and you're participating in this stuff unknown. So some of these women who get involved, and even online, like outside of the music industry, there's this subculture online where people are, people want to quickly pretend to be spiritual when it allows them to do the fucked up shit they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How you do it is not what you do, it's how you do it. In the way that they're doing it, it's like sex magic, the positives of sex magic, the positives of tantra, you experience the obverse of it. You know what I'm saying? So now your energy is being degraded. Your melanin, like they say, how a woman's melanin can get degraded. Well, this is how your melanin gets degraded, by laying with and taking on these spirits and taking on these energies, and you opening yourself up. When you have an orgasm, all types of things could come into you at this time. So if you're not protected and you're around people who don't cleanse themselves, who just lay down with everybody and anything, like, we have to be aware, because that kind of energy can be fed right now too. It's like if you don't use it, somebody else is going to use it.
That's interesting. The only thing that I can think of, excuse me, the only thing that the TV program that I can think that actually showcases that, what you're just thinking about, having sex in a large setting to use the magic. There's only one show that I know of that actually shows this, and this is the CBS show called Strange Angel. Okay, and this is about a student of Aleister Crowley named Jack Parsons. He was a rocket scientist. And it shows how he came in contact with that group, and what they were doing, they would have sex for a reason, an intention, a magical intention. You know, find that, and I mean, because I can't do it justice. He's sitting here talking.
Find that. That sounds interesting.
Strange Angel. This comes on. I think they canceled it, but that's as many movies as I watch. That's the only thing that I can think of that.
What about Eyes Wide Shut? Wasn't that kind of like a trippy kind of thing like that?
Right, exactly. Eyes Wide Shut. Tom Cruise. Good catch. Yes, that's another one that uses sex magic, in these large groups. Hello, Dark Beauty. Thanks for joining us. Hello, hey. She saw that on Prime. I'm assuming you mean Strange Angel. But Strange Angel is like a series. It was like 2 seasons. I was highly suggest that one. Like Oshun said, Eyes Wide Shut. I'm sitting here trying to think of some more. I know there's more out there.
That's the only one I can come up with.
Yeah, that's the only
there
one I
was
can
a movie that Bobby Hemmett recommended. I can't even remember the name of it, but I had actually got it. It was more about tantric sex.
Okay.
I remember the name of it, but I had got it back when Blockbuster used to do their online rentals. You know, that's over with. Netflix shut their ass all the way down.
All the way down.
That's back when you could, go on there online and they would send you a DVD, and I had got the DVD. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about a woman and her husband, and she was what they was calling frigid, right? And this story is like relevant to some of the healing that may need to take place. And so she had sought out this, basically he was like a tantric healer, right? He was like this alternative healer because he used to actually have sex with his patients, right? So you had to kind of know somebody to get to him. So she had been going to him trying to get some healing, and it had been revealed like during her healing sessions that she had been molested by her father as a baby. And that's what created the frigidity that she was experiencing during sex, where she couldn't, she wasn't orgasming and she wasn't having pleasure and she was having all these problems, and it was like a painful experience for her. So he was taking her through these tantric rituals to like open her up, and her husband found out and he wanted to kill him, and instead he taught him how to heal her through sex. So instead of him having sex with the man's wife, he taught the man how to have sex with his wife properly, because he wasn't doing it right. What he was doing was like the opposite of healing her. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the way that he was doing it. So he taught him these things, but it was a movie.
Please remember the name of that one, because now I want to see.
I gotta think of the name. I'm gonna have to think about it. And I'll definitely text you.
And you said Bobby suggested this movie?
Yeah, this is. You know what? If you want to find out, I think it was in that lecture about twin flames, that twin flame lecture that he did, the really long lecture about love. He did this one lecture and he talks about twin flames. He talks about love. It's all about love, twin flames, and like sex and sex magic. In that video, he talks about this particular movie.
Okay, I think I have. That's like 3 hours long or something like that.
Yeah, and I think Panic is in it. Like if you watch it long enough, he one of the people that's sitting back talking to Bobby, like asking him questions. It's like Panic, another guy, and somebody
else. Rudra, the other guy had locks.
Yeah, locks.
Yeah, I have that. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I have to revisit that one. I haven't watched that one in a long time.
For those of y'all who new to this sex, magic, and understanding, that would be a good video to go watch.
Absolutely. You have to go to one of the sites that has Bobby videos. Serious Media, I think it's called, is one of them. I think you can go directly to Panic, probably, to get stuff. I'm not sure, but that's a great
video where he talks about like sex magic and like ritualistic magic and like all of that stuff.
Who?
Azazel Bay.
Oh yeah. He actually does one with his wife at the time. Yeah.
Now he tapped into that dark side shit. He go into the graveyard and have sex. Now I ain't did that.
I ain't do that either. I ain't about to do that either.
I go there and do my work, but I'm not going there having no relations now. Okay.
And that's what he did. Him and his woman, they went to the graveyard. It was the town that Tituba was in. And they wanted to, I think their goal was to make their enemies fight themselves. Say that again?
That's Salem.
Yeah, Salem, Massachusetts. Yes. I still have that. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
You definitely about that life. I ain't there.
Yeah. I I ain't gonna front. As long as I've been doing this, I ain't going to no fucking graveyard to fuck.
I ain't even thought about it. You know what I'm saying? That's not even been like a goal, you know.
I'm not doing that. But that's a perfect example of, you know, having sex, ritual sex, to manifest goals. And like I said, I think the purpose of them doing that, they went there with a purpose. They wanted their enemies, you know, our enemies, our known enemies, to fight amongst themselves.
I got you.
Yeah. That's a great example. Yeah. Yeah, I still ain't there though.
No, but I think sometimes, like, I think certain people may start to tap into this energy and not know it. I think you can get with certain partners and you connect with them and you two just kind of go into this energetic frequency where you may be having some tantric experiences or having some sex magic experiences without awareness of it. You know, it's happening and you're not cognizant of it right away. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I was. That's why I started to realize that there's something going on here. I remember speaking of Scorpios, having relations with a Scorpio and him telling me, I can feel your soul. Like, I can feel your soul. During sex. And I thought that was, you know, that was long before I was, you know, as advanced into my occult studies. But for him to express that, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't the type of person, like, he wasn't like a sage burning, you know, cultist, a weight guy. He was like a hood dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, don't fuck up on me, I'm gonna fuck your ass up type dude. You know what I'm saying? So to have him express that, I was like, okay, he picking up on something. You know what I'm saying? Something's happening here.
But see, there's that stigma though that people will use that just to have sex and not be honest about it. But I mean, I think you brought up a good point. I mean, people with certain energies can come together and bring about a certain frequency and manifest goals. But I mean, so many people out here in this hookup culture, you got to find somebody who's really about that life and really about manifesting instead of, you know, just like we said at the beginning of the show, just straight fucking, you know, having a goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes two people can get together and, you know, on an energetic level, the frequency is good, the interchange is good. And so you both build, you both grow, you both thrive. But you can also get with people who are very parasitic and people who have a lot of attachments and have a lot of, you know, negative energy. And you get with that person and it can bring, I've seen where a person can get with someone and it draw out all the sickness in the person. You know what I mean? Like every weakness and every sickness that they have, it just draws it out of them because they're just so damn negative. You know what I'm saying? That by being with them, it feeds that side of them to where they can become very sick and become very codependent, and then things in their lives start falling apart. I've met so many women, specifically because I deal with a lot of women, obviously, who get in these relationships, you know, sometimes because they think that they're, you know, getting ahead, but it starts fucking with their health. It's fucking with your money. It's fucking with your energy dealing with this person, you know, because they're like parasitic. You know what I mean? You thinking, and this is a mistake that some people make. Just because a man want to keep having sex with you don't mean that he really love you or that he's really attracted to you. He could just be feeding off of you. Hypersexuality can be a sign that sometimes they got something attached to them. You see, it could be a feeding thing and not a, ooh, you know how some people just get caught up on that, you know? Oh, he's feeding on your ass. You're gonna be looking in about 5 years, you're gonna look like you 30 years older. You know what I'm saying? By the time he get through with your ass, you could look like a raisin.
I actually know of a couple, an occult couple, who both were into the arts, who, to manifest their goals, they would bring in another woman and they would drain her energy without her knowing it. You know what I'm saying? That's the other shit you got to worry about.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I had a client like that. See, that's how I know you speaking the truth. I had a client like that who met a couple who was into magic, and they knew Reiki, and they knew all that kind of stuff. And they were draining her. She was quite a bit younger, so she had that youthful energy. She Scorpio, that sexual energy. That's the best person you can get to have some sex transfer of energy. And they were just draining her.
Like,
yeah.
No.
So look, my Venus is in Scorpio, so I do deal with the Scorpion energy, you know.
And my moon is in Scorpio.
Yeah. So you know,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
about dealing with people who got that Scorpio though, because they deal with that dark energy. So you fuck over them, and you gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Besides people being genuine about the goals, some people. I actually know, as a matter of fact, during my early occult career, I ran across a couple people who were able to use sex to drain, but not. I wouldn't say it was malicious, but it's for their own power. You know, they know how to do shit like that. You know, so there's some dangers, of course, but there is big benefits to doing the ritual sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do it with the right person. Let me just say this, y'all, because you know how this culture is where people just jump in and out of relationships. You met him today, he moved in tomorrow, you know, y'all together, wifey, y'all about to have a baby. Like, this is not sex, magic, and tantric sex is not something that you should be practicing with your Johns and your fly by night relationships, because you making deep connections to some fuck boys and some fuck girls that you're not gonna want to deal with. They're gonna be in your window with the flashlight. They're gonna be stalking your ass. They're gonna be crazy. They're gonna be obsessive. You're gonna be and really open up some door to some real fuck shit. So you want to be sure before you know who you doing this stuff on. This is not nothing for you to be playing around with people and testing it out. You know, let's just see how it works. Okay.
Right. And that's what I was saying earlier, is that, you know, it is what it is. It's a hookup culture. You know, people do it all the time, every day. It is what it is. That's the kind of culture we live in now. But I mean, doing it with the wrong person will get you fucked up. Because like I said, there's couples who do this. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody, but there's couples who will bring another one in. They'll give her energy. They don't mean anything. Well, I can't even say that. They don't mean anything by it, but their purpose is to get that energy, you know. But then for the person, the third person, that's not a good thing, because they end up draining her energy. She start looking old or whatever. So it's a couple things that you do need to worry about, you know, that you have to be mindful of. But again, there are some great benefits to ritual sex and to tantra and, you know, sex the way it was meant to be.
Right. I agree with you. I wanted to just bring that up though, because a lot of times when people talk about it, they're always talking about the benefits. They're always talking about, you know, how great it is, and it is. But just like with everything, and just like with all magic and with all spiritual things, they should be used with discernment. You know what I mean? I think that devil may care attitude that some people have to the occult, you know, I'm just gonna try it out and not, you know, not really taking it seriously. And you know, when you're not taking things seriously, you open yourself up to making mistakes. You open yourself up to sometimes to the negative aspects of that stuff. Like I said, what if you go out here, like you said, you meet with someone who is drawing energy off you? Maybe you already got some kind of something going on with you. Maybe you've already got some type of imbalance within your body, and then you get with these people who start draining of your energy. This thing, you know, you're sick. You're coming down with one illness after another. Your money ain't flowing right no more. Now your money's stagnant. You know, things aren't flowing like they're supposed to. Like, it's affecting you on other levels, and it can be deadly. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who don't care about you, think about like a vampire. They can just take all your life force energy.
I'm glad you said that, because I don't want anybody to get offended by what I get ready to say next. But women are vampires. What I mean by that, they are receivers. That's all I mean by that. Okay, they receive energy like men give it. Women receive it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all at an advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all can take energy naturally.
A man that knows sex magic and knows energy can use that experience to draw energy from a woman, though.
Absolutely. 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 And Tawanda says, "Old thieving behinds." Yeah. And Swords. Hey, what's up, Swords? Say, young guys make you look young. LOL. I heard. Okay. Tell us how you heard.
I don't know if that's true or not. Okay. I'm the kind of person that I'm always gonna look youthful. Good black don't crack. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I don't know. Some people say youth begots youth. So, but I'm gonna say something. Let's talk about it though. So you got to be careful because sometimes, like older people who like to be around younger people, sometimes they're making an energy exchange on y'all. Sometimes they're drawing some of your life force energy. You got to be careful. I've seen once where like sometimes a person that's sick will attach to someone else that's more youthful, and they can buy years. It's like you're trading in years. Like for instance, prime example, Anna Nicole Smith and her old ass husband.
You went back in the day.
I'm going to tell you what the spirit told me. That she made an exchange for her years in life. Look how old he was. Do you see how many years he had here? He was sick.
He was old.
This is why she died. That's why she ended up dying the way that she did. She made agreements, and in that agreement, she bartered her life force for money. Okay, for money and for wealth. After he died, she had to fight with his family over the money because they didn't want to give it to her.
I heard this. I've heard that before. I have heard that. Yeah. Winnie Mandela was looking great at her 80th. I didn't even see you sneaking here, Marty. Welcome. But what we're talking about?
He was.
She really was.
Whew, girl,
I remember my aunt
making that money, honey. She has some hard nights.
I remember my aunt used to say, "Old man give you worms."
Yes, you heard that before.
Yeah, I have. I've heard that.
Or you know how they say a person like you an old man baby because you just come out looking old, you know.
Looking like Benjamin Buttons and shit.
Yeah, one of them old man babies.
But what we're talking about though, that's another besides sex magic, we're talking about vampirism. You know what I'm saying?
That's a part of sex magic.
It is. It is, but like the Temple of the Vampire Cult. Okay. That organization.
I ain't never heard of that.
Vampirism. They teach vampirism.
They got a whole temple, huh?
Right. They got the Temple of the Vampire. Amadi knows about this. They do it without sex.
Hi, Motown Witch.
Motown Witch. What's up? Good evening. Channel Virgo. We got another Virgo in the house.
Yeah, she's one of my followers.
Subscribers. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I did hear.
Vampirism, that's a real thing out here.
Yeah. All the ways that those examples that you gave is examples of vampirism. You know, it's a real thing. People do know how to practice it. I know of many examples of people practicing that without having to do sex magic. Like you said, it's an energy exchange. Like you gave a great example, Anna Nicole Smith. I never even thought about that. But then she ended up dying from that, you know, and fighting his family. Oh.
You know, some people may think that's an equal exchange. I don't think so. But sometimes people don't really understand everything that they're agreeing to, especially like, let's talk about this because Mercury talks about contracts, right?
Right.
Sometimes you're making agreements and contracts that you don't fully understand. They call these adhesion agreements. Basically, you sign this contract and there's a part of the contract that you don't see. They don't produce it for you, but you sign it, and by signing it, you agree to whatever they add to it later on. So this is how a lot of people want to know, how do these stars, why would they agree to do this, that, and the others? It's not directly implied within the contract. And contract law doesn't require for you to disclose all of that, okay? And this is what they know. Most people don't know contract law. So you're so excited. You're a new artist. You sign this agreement. You know, you've got even people signing, like creating covens and spiritual agreements with people, not understand that they're binding themselves to certain things. And these people, once you agree blindly and you haven't reserved your rights under the contract. You asked me about UCC law the other day. This is some of that UCC law stuff that people don't understand about contract law and reserving your rights. This is why people who call themselves Moorish will sign their signature and then put all rights reserved next to their signature, because they're saying that they're reserving all of their rights under the contract, because they know that there's parts of this contract that they're not producing, they're not seeing it. You know, a person can get the contract, read it, okay, cool. But an adhesion contract says that there's a part of it that they're not showing you. This is how they bind themselves into these kind of agreements that they don't understand. And this is happening also with certain people who are coming into like these occults or these secret societies. A lot of that is ritualistic stuff too, but contract law still applies. So this is how people sign into things, and then the next thing you know, somebody's dead, you know, somebody's sick. Okay.
Amadi says the Uniform Commercial Code, he said, better UCC 1-308 above your signature. That's good information for y'all to know. Y'all better write that down.
You're not supposed to use those codes, though. You have certain people that say that you're not supposed to actually print out the code. You're supposed to reserve the law, but not actually put the actual code on the document. But that's up to you how you decide to do it. But it's the same thing about reserving your rights. So these people, let's just say, for instance, like you talk about Aleister Crowley having like these sexual cults and these temples. Well, this kind of stuff is really going on. You know what I'm saying? And people are really, a coven is what? It's a contract. It's an agreement, right? That you're making with certain people. You have a lot of people talking about sex magic, and now they into polygamy. They're forming covens. They don't get it. But you got a coven going on right there. Okay. It's what you really got going on. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so people are making agreements, and sometimes you don't understand everything that the person has in mind for you to get this one thing. You know, you get it, but at what cost?
Right. There you go. Right there. At what cost? I just wanted to read some of these comments here. Tawanda says that lawyer she was around wasn't good for her either. Her oldest child died a day or two after her. Youngest was born too. Just craziness. Was this Anna Nicole Smith we're talking about?
Remember, her son died first. Before she died, her son died.
I don't remember the story, to be honest.
Because he died and then she died. Okay. That is not a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. I just
contracts. I'm gonna
tell you something that we might see. You might start seeing some people dying, some people who have been in these kinds of things, because this is a time for reconciliation. The veil is thin.
Very
you might start seeing a slew of people dying, these kind of freak weird accidents, because they have been involved in this kind of thing.
Yeah. What else can people do to protect themselves?
The first thing is to practice something spiritually. Everybody's not supposed to do and be the same thing. I don't think everybody's supposed to be Wiccan. Everybody's supposed to be hoodoo. Everybody ain't gonna be voodoo. But do what you're supposed to do. Whatever you were put here to practice, whatever your soul resonates with, you need something spiritual as a foundation in your life, because this is a world of illusions. And if you are living your world, if you are of this world, and if you need to be of this world and not in it, because if you're in this world and you're living from that place, you're going to be easily seduced by people. And these type of people who, like Magick was saying, who are bringing in third parties to drain them, who are bringing in, and let me just say this, let's talk about this, because sometimes you're a part of a third party situation and they're draining you and you don't know it.
Right.
Let me just say this. It does not mean that you are having sex with him and her at the same time, and you guys are having a threesome and they're draining you. That's not always how that drain game go. I call it the drain game. Sometimes what it is that you have sex with somebody who has a lot of attachments. And let's just say, for instance, these two people, even though they're not having relations with you actively together, because you're connected to them and what they're doing over here in their ritual life, they're pulling energy off of you. They're also leaving shit on you. Okay. If you carry a heavy load, this is something that I realized that people in the cult will do. Leave shit on other people. So if they went out here and collected a lot of negative energy, gone out here and made a lot of negative agreements, they will try and leave that spiritual energy on the next person, either for that person to take on the brunt of it or for them to share in it with them. So you got to be careful who you decide you can share karma with people, is what I would describe it as, you know.
So you're saying in this world of illusion, and this year particularly, watch out who you're attached to or who your friendship with, because a lot of illusions have been unfolding. You know, we've seen a lot of shit just in these 10 months of this year. You know what I mean? And I think it's not over yet. Like Amadi says, the Jason months are not over, which is July, August, September, October, November. You know, I see something happening in the election or right around it. You know what I mean? So I just think we need to be initiated in something. Well, you said it better than I did. You said, you know, what you're meant to do, but some kind of spirituality right now. You know, this is a critical and crucial time for us. You know what I mean? And I've said this for years now. I said there's going to come a time when melanated people are going to have, or they're going to be forced to depend on each other. You know what I mean? Forced to help each other. But at the same time, there's a lot of leeching going on right now. So do be careful. I'm looking at
if you have strong spiritual foundation, strong spiritual protection, pay attention to the signs that you get when people come into your life. Sometimes your ancestors or your spirit guides are trying to warn you about someone, about a situation. And some of us ignore the warnings. We ignore the different signs that we get, and we assign them to other things. Well, she said, yeah, got to weed some of them out. Absolutely. So you want to pay attention. You want to be very observant to what happens around you and what you're picking up on from spirit world when you're thinking about, okay, I'm about to date this person. I'm about to go out with this person. And I'm from the inner city. So I'm from a place where if you date the wrong motherfucker, you may not come back.
How about that?
Okay. So let's keep it there. Okay. Also about death. Now, Mercury retrograde, okay. Mercury deals with crossing people over to the other side. Scorpio deals with death, and it also deals with the dark side of sexuality, the dark side of love, which is what? Obsession, infatuation, and power struggle. Okay. So you got people, you got abusive people, you got manipulative people, all that kind of energy. You got to be careful, okay? Because this is the time where this kind of stuff comes up too, right?
And you're getting a lot of sex trafficking that's being exposed this year. You know what I'm saying? When you're speaking about, you know, a lot of illusions and these what's that one thing called? OnlyFans or something, shit like that. It's a site or something. It's something where
interact with their fans.
I think so. Yeah.
I've heard about that recently. I've never been on there, but I read something recently about it.
Well, anyway, you just gotta be careful.
Be on there and to like interact with them and to like, it's like social media, but it's, you know, a subscription type thing, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. But I wanted to say, you know, like she said, she made a good point about pay attention to your I tell my students this all the time. Pay attention. Your intuition is never going to steer you wrong. Pay attention to the totems that you see. You know, one day I was driving I, 3 fucking squirrels crossed my path as I was driving. You know what I'm saying? Now people may think that that's just something trivial, but I really believe in the totems. This is a messages from the spirits world. We've been so dumbed down that we just kind of dismiss our spirituality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Pay attention, just like they can lead you to the right person, they're going to lead you away from the wrong person. They're going to lead you away. If you keep your spirits fed, if you keep your protection up and your vibration high, it's going to help you stay away from the fuck boys. It's going to help you stay away from the vampires and those situations, because especially, let's be careful, because when you start doing attraction magic, when you start doing love magic, you're going to attract a lot of different shit. You're going to have to be able to filter, right? Sift through some of that stuff, because some of them fish you got to throw back in. You know what I mean? Right. Like I said, I'm from a place where you go on the wrong date, you go with the wrong person, and that might be the last time they see you. Okay. Yeah. So it's real out here. So, use your magic. The tantric and all this stuff is great, but we also got to use discernment. We always got to use common sense, and we got to protect it spiritually. So the more you protect yourself and the more that you're spiritually grounded, it's going to help you stay away from the negative aspects of those things. So you don't have to learn that way. I think somebody made a comment. I don't know if they're a man or a woman. They asked about a protection mojo. I think it's alpha. Are you a man or a woman? It's out of curiosity, because you might want to put subtly different things in there. Like,
I'm seeing a lot of comments actually. Spirit Soul Energy has joined us. What's up? Thanks for coming, Sarah, Alpha, QD galore. Damn, y'all went in with the comments here. We just running our mouth.
No, I actually read a couple of them. I was just waiting.
Oh, well.
Okay, continue. Good, Alpha. So I got something for you. I felt like you might have been a man, and that's why I wanted to ask you. Okay, so a good mojo to attract people. I actually, Mojo, the Motown Witch, actually, I went there today. It's a shop here in Michigan, and I bought some John the Conqueror root. As a man, John the Conqueror root is a must-have root. Okay, it gives you the upper hand. It is a masculine energy. I would say get you like a mojo bag. I'm actually making a gentleman one. You could use like purple. You could use red, like for passion. Get you a John. You got to activate your John. So you got to take it, soak it in either some whiskey or some rum or some liquor overnight to wake up, because there's a spirit that lives within this root, the spirit of an African prince that was brought over here during slavery. And so basically he freed himself and he was able to best people and like overcome obstacles. So he was associated as being the conqueror. So you wake up this root. You can put that into like a mojo bag. You can add in things like cinnamon. You can add in ginger. You could put in patchouli in there. I would say 3 herbs, 3 things, or odd numbers. You don't have to use 3. You can use an odd number. Take it and that macho cologne. Remember that cologne I told you about, Magic?
Seattle Machos.
Siete Macho. Take that Florida. So it's a cologne water. Anoint yourself. Anoint your bag with it. Put like some of your hair in it. If you were gonna really go there, you might put a little pubic hair in there. Magic might tell you make a little sigil and activate and put a little of that sperm on there. If you
I was going to say that. Go ahead.
Read your mind if you really want to activate that bag and get it working. You know what I'm saying? Don't show nobody your bag. Keep it on you for the first week, like on your skin for the first week, so that it connects with you, and then keep it with you and away from people. I bet you that's going to attract them.
Yeah. You can also take some of your sexual fluids. Let me just add on to that. Sexual fluids. You anoint the bag on all 4 corners. You can blow cigar smoke in it. Some cinnamon, damiana, some fish oil. Fish oil.
Fish oil.
Fish oil is an aphrodisiac.
Really?
It
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Yohimbe is another one you can use.
Yohimbe. And fellas, if you want to be, like that kind of a substance, then you can make the Yohimbe into a tea. Also, Korean ginseng. I'm just giving out all the shit right now.
You gotta give them what they need so they can try it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like she said, purple bag, that's power, attraction. Red, or you can use one of these. I use these leather pouches for my talismans.
Those are nice.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
We use those. Those are nice.
Yes, I reuse them. So I got secrets. I got tips. Tricks.
Yes, Yohimbe is an herbal Viagra, but I also use it like in spell work because of what it does and what it's medicinal. A lot of times they call it the doctrine of signatures, where you can kind of look at it, kind of figure out what it does. You look at it, what it does, in nature. Like even when you're working with animal parts. Like another thing I'm gonna tell you that you could put in there too, a raccoon's bone. For men, that is for virility and it attracts because it looks like a little penis.
Okay.
The raccoon bone. Okay. But like certain, different zomorphic things, you use it, and the way that it works spiritually is based on how it operates in nature. So, Yohimbe, same thing.
Also, gentlemen, zinc. Get your daily intake of zinc. Amadi gave me this tip years ago. Deer velvet antler. Yeah, you combine that with Korean ginseng or Yohimbe, and it's a wrap for whatever woman you're gonna be with.
You about to break it down. Some of them long strokes. Okay.
Yes. Stamina. For women though, one of the things you can do also is in a bath, you can put like 5 drops of honey in a bath and get in the tub, and also some rose buds, put that in there. I think I gave this one out before, is that wear red underclothes, red bra and panties. If you're going out, you want to get a man on your cycle, something like that. I can't.
Oh, you gotta be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, you do. That's why I kind of held it back.
Because if you do, that's a binding. You can bind a man to you.
Yes, you can.
You'd be wondering why something I read the other day. It was a little smart comment. Somebody put like a meme, and it said, "Fuck her for having sex with me on her period. Now I can thinking about her, and it's 3 years later, she in my fucking dreams." It was like a little meme though. Like he found out the hard way. Like that's an old hoodoo thing. That's an old hoodoo trick that old women to do. You know what I mean? Control. Okay. Another thing, a hoodoo tip that women can do for attraction is to anoint yourself. Like they will tell you to take confession and sugar, mix it with some ground cinnamon, and then powder yourself, starting going up your body because you want to bring it to you. So you would do this if you're about to go on a date, right? Or you want to attract that person because that the sugar is sweetening, and then cinnamon attracts, and it's for lust and love too. So you can do that.
I'm still here. I was getting ready to answer the question Alpha asked.
What did she ask? I'm gonna have to go back and read some of these comments.
Should you add a petition in the Mojo bag? I was getting ready to show one.
He's a man. He said that he was a man.
Oh, okay.
I asked because I wanted to know if I should recommend that root, the hydra.
For women, Jezebel root will work too.
Jezebel or Queen Elizabeth root is
Queen Elizabeth root.
Known as Orris root.
Right, Orris. You can add a petition in the Mojo bag if you want. It's not necessary, but I mean, every little bit in magic helps. Every little tool helps.
Ooh, okay. So the Motown Witch says a woman can also put a dab of her own juices behind her ears.
I was going to say, bring yourself to orgasm and put it in your lotion. You can do that way also.
You
I
know what?
mean,
Just talking about working with your own natural pheromones, because that's what you start working with when you put your,
absolutely. Absolutely.
So also you can buy certain pheromones. I've done that before. I've bought pheromones and like mixed them into my oil blends, like my attraction or
I've done that.
oil. I'm gonna tell you another good tip, ladies. Catnip.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Oshun is the one who gave me that tip. It's alluring. She's the one who gave me that tip years ago. It's catnip. She's absolutely right.
Very good for attraction work, especially it's better for women, unless you are like a gay male. I would say maybe that might work for you too. That might be something that you might want to work with, but more or less for women, that catnip.
Yeah, that catnip. I would agree. I've used that for female clients. I've not used that for a man.
I'm just saying for like a man that was like feminine, I think that
I got
might work.
I got what you said. I got exactly what you said. Let's see. How do you unbind? I think I did that with my children's dad 10 years ago, and at the time I had no idea. He insisted we have sex on my period.
QD, it's not that women can't use Hyjon, they very well can, but it works the way that he was asking is more of a masculine route. So a woman wouldn't use it for attraction. You would use it more for business or for luck, I feel like if a woman wanted to use a route for attraction, she should get a feminine route like you said, Jezebel route or Queen Elizabeth route.
Yeah.
For that purpose, because it is a masculine route.
Right.
Also, working with certain deities are good for love work, attraction work. If you want, like, I believe in my premise on sex, magic, and like tantric sex is I believe in inviting spirit in. So, working with like the set, working with Oshun, working with maybe Pambagira, depending upon what kind of experience you want to have.
Pambagira is going to get that shit done. Trust me on this. Yeah. Pambagira. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Shango for men.
Bring in Shango if you're a man.
Shango for men.
Your divine masculine energy. Why not before having sex with your mate, especially if both you and your mate are actively in the culture? You could do an invocation to your Orisha, invocation to that deity, and draw in the goddess. Believe me, you're gonna have some damn good sex that night. I have actually recommended to my clients, and they always get a good result. They always call me the next day and be like, "Girl, I'm gonna do that again." That nigga was over there crying, girl. He was over there.
Oh God. Where are I? There's so many comments now.
Let's see. I see those animals on the side of the highway. Okay, I don't know what that was about. What animals? What's a good way to protect small children?
Oh man, am I going too? I think I'm going back too far.
I probably went back far enough. I'm just seeing what's in front of me. You're welcome, Dark Beauty 30 Ray. She said, "Thank you for the advice."
Who?
Dark Beauty 30 Ray.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm right there with you, right there. Okay. People get addicted to period blood. Yes, they do. Let's
talk about that. Let's go deeper into the period blood. So
all right, so I knew a magician who would freeze his woman's tampon.
Oh damn.
Yeah. He used that for magic though. He just used it. He would put them in the freezer. Yes, I know somebody who did that. But that was years ago.
According to tantric knowledge, they had this substance that they would call soma. And soma was made from the goddess's period blood. And you would hear them talk about to become a god, they would ingest this soma. Okay. So there's a lot of power in that menstrual blood. And there's a drink. Even Panic talks about it. Some of his lectures, he talks about, I ain't saying go and just, when she's full on her period, just go have a, a whole good drink, but it's just about, you know, the spiritual energy, the life force energy, the chi that's in it. And it's like, they call it an elixir, right? I know that's too deep for some of y'all. Like, I don't do nothing when I'm on my period. I'm not gonna have no sex. I'm not gonna have anything. Some people, period means stop. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, I don't do nothing, and they think they're dirty. You know, that some women have a really negative association with their periods, and there's a lot of power in your menses. Even while you're on your menses, you are at your most powerful. Only time you're going to be more powerful is when you're pregnant, or when you go into crone state and you're no longer losing your menstrual blood.
Yeah. Aleister Crowley in the Book of the Law actually said the best, well, how's it go? The best blood is of the moon monthly. He was talking about period blood. So somebody's asking if you have a YouTube channel. I forgot the name, because Triple Goddess Network.
I do, yeah, it's called the Triple Goddess Network.
Okay. Amadi said the Starfire. Yep. Swords West says she keeps her blood in her fridge too.
I do work with my blood. Like, it's traditional, and like they would call it the red. One name for it was the red tent societies, where women would get together, and for one, they would feed their blood to Mother Earth. So they would not wear like pads and things like we would, and they would let the blood flow free, and they would feed Mother Earth. They would do their rituals together. They would do their healing. It was a time of power, but because of the suppression of the divine feminine, suppression of the witch, they suppressed all of these rights and all of these things. And so now a time of power is considered a time of shame, and it's not.
Right. So, I mean, the stuff that we're giving out, it may seem, you know, like way out there, but this is natural. These are our natural sciences that we're discussing. Like when I say, you know, use your sexual fluids if you want to, you know, do some attraction work and put it on the Mojo bag, it works. You know what I mean? If you're going to get into the occult, then you got to deprogram all the way and not be so frigid. Not period blood shouldn't scare you. Semen shouldn't scare you. Nothing that's natural should scare you or turn you away, because these, like I said, these are ancient sciences that we're talking about here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is the time to talk about it, because Scorpio is also about the dark side. It's about the taboo stuff. It's about, you know, the occult, which is what means, the occult just means what was hidden, right?
That's all. That's all it means.
We're just trying to give you some revelation, give you some deeper insight on things, because it's not that the world changes, is that you change your perception of the world, and the world changes. So the more knowledge that you have, the more that you understand about things, that's what allows you the ability to change your reality and applying it. It does no good to read these books, but you never apply it. You never use the information. You know, we got too many occultists and too many, you know, people, spiritualists out there who are just retaining information but not applying it.
Right. There comes a time where you have to apply it. You know, you can't just talk about it. You got to be about it, as the saying goes. You know, she says, don't be frigid with sex neither. That's how you came here. Absolutely, Source. You know, let me bend your ass over. Let you hang you off the bed and shit. I'm just saying. Don't be frigid.
Religion has programmed in so much guilt and so much shame into sexuality that people, this is a big fucking issue. Like some of these mean ass Republicans and some of these people that you don't like, is because they ain't getting fucked right. Okay.
Right.
They ain't been fucked right. They mad at, okay.
Right. And you got to understand that my background, especially, I was brought up in Catholic school system. So, yeah, we had all those taboos, you know, having classrooms with nuns and priests. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a whole lot of deprogramming to get where I'm at now. But sex is a natural phenomenon. You know what I mean? But as we were saying earlier, though, you got to use discernment these days. You really do have to be careful out there.
You don't want to lay down with the wrong person and get one of these spiritually transmitted diseases. Okay.
Spiritually transmitted.
Yeah. I meet people with it. I remember there was this one lady, kid you not. Sometimes when I talk to people, even though I'm not in the room with them, I can see them. And she had been around here. She had got caught up in this, I don't even know what you call these new age conscious movement people with they goddesses, what really is nothing but them fucking a bunch of women and a bunch of pseudoscience. So she had been through the ringer. She had been fucked with all these different people, going and fucking with this king of that and the master of sex over here. And so she comes to me all fucked up. And she had all these things on her. It looked like bugs, like on the spiritual level, they were like parasite, like all over her. Just this shit. And I told her, I was like, baby girl, I cannot help you.
You turned it down, huh?
Yeah, she was infected. And if I would have touched her, I would have got infected. She was infected with some shit. You know me, I will take a client. I will, I have taken some hard cases, but this one I was like, no.
Yeah, there comes a time, and yes, people, that happens. There are times that we turn people down. I know I have. I've had to. You know what I'm saying? More comments. No point in learning if you ain't going to use it. Yes, absolutely. Bobby said one thing. He says, if you have a library like I do, you don't have to read as much because you can go to a book, pull out what you need. But if you only have like 2-3 books, then you gotta rely on those 2-3 books for whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the point I wanted to make there. Hello, hey says so true, and I'm guilty of reading because I love to read, so I move on from book to book. But you're right, I have to remember to apply it. And,
yeah, absolutely. Because I'm gonna tell you something: magic in a book and magic in reality is not all the same.
It's not.
Because in reality, with magic, you're thinking in the perfect scenario without people fighting you, without people opposing you, without other people's intentions and energies involved in it. Magic just don't happen the way that you think is, I'm do this love spell and then he gonna be at my door tomorrow. Like that ain't how it happened.
Somebody actually, I always go back to this point about the microwave society. I want everything now. This woman, I gave her some instruction. She really wanted this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as she did the ritual, like hours later, she called the guy. And I'm like, why? You ain't give it no time to work. She got so mad, she ceased communication with me. She said she left Facebook, everything. She got frustrated because she thought, just like Harry Potter and Hollywood shit, it was going to happen immediately. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't happen that way, people. You got to have patience, and you have to have a certain skill level. I don't care what all these people say these days. You got to have a certain skill level to make it manifest quickly.
I believe that every human being has a little magic ability within them, but I think on a level that people want to do magic, you need to have a gift, and everybody is not gifted to do magic. Everybody is not meant to do work for other people, and so you have to really know your shit and know how to conduct business and know your shit in order to do this and do it for other people. And you've got people out here who don't know what they're doing. They're not really talented magically. Because yes, you can build a skill, you can learn, you absolutely need to, but you still have to have that gift. You still have to be, you gotta have something to work with. Some of y'all are really trying to do too much for where you really at. Right. They trying to be, Aleister Crowley out here, like, and
you just learning.
You ain't there yet.
Yeah, just learning. It took me forever before I took my first client. Like forever. I was doing, I was making sure I could consistently get results for myself before I even thought about doing work for other people. Because if you end up, you fuck somebody else up, fuck yourself up, it's just not worth it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not what people doing nowadays. The Motown Witch says people come into her shop all the time expecting Harry Potter results, and that's because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are new to magic, and because of I feel like the distorted kind of view that was given to magic, how it was dumbed down. So people come with, again, like you said, they're watching TV. They have unrealistic expectations and they haven't got their ego in check. So they think, oh, magic means like bewitched. When I twinkle my nose, everything is happen. And that's what happened. It's work. When I talk about doing work for people, I always call it work. I don't do magic. I do work because this shit is work.
It is work.
These kind of results. You got to eat it. You got to live it. You got to breathe it. You got to shit it. If you want to get the kind of results that Magic and I get for people, then you're going to have to be committed to your path. You're going to have to be about it. You're going to have to live it. It's going to have to be real. You can't just do something over here in the corner and you read a couple books. You've been into it for a year or two, and all of a sudden you the king dingaling and you round here, king dingaling of magic. You know what I'm
saying? Perfectly stated. Perfectly stated.
All hype, all ego. You know what I'm saying? You got on social media with your shenanigans, okay?
There is nothing I can add to that, people. She said it all right there. I'm trying to make sure we don't get these comments. Those conscious groups. Wait. Religion is the way they domesticate the human being. This is what Amadi said. Yup. And we got to use common sense. Just because a person is a spiritual leader doesn't mean we just let them lead us blind. Unfortunately, that's what people do.
Yeah, there's a lot of historical figures who have started cults and led people blind. Look at Jim Jones. All the people drinking that damn Kool-Aid. Every time you hear me say Kool-Aid, that's what I'm talking about. Talking about Jim Jones.
Right.
And all them people, what did they go to Ghana?
Guyana.
Guyana?
Guyana. They made a movie, and I was like 9 years old, and I saw that movie. It's called The Guyana Tragedy.
Okay, there we go. I know it's up with a G. I'm saying everything but Guyana. Okay. I saw that made for TV movie. There was a made for TV movie that they had back in the day when I was a kid. And I remember watching that as a kid. And all those people who believed in him. He started that church and he moved all those people over there. He separated families. He was doing all kind of sex stuff. And then finally, after it was about to be over and they called in, I think it was a senator, right? Even the senator died. Like, you know what I'm saying? So many people.
The government had to step in to assassinate this dude. You know what I mean? If I'm remembering the story correctly, I remember as a kid looking at that.
He also killed himself. He drank the Kool-Aid too, girl.
He drank the Kool-Aid too. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. Right.
That was the Waco man that they had to go down there and kill.
Okay, that's what I'm mixing them up. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Nature Boy, prime example, laugh it out loud. There are a lot of people on here, broken, wounded people that are pretending to be spiritual leaders, and they're just practicing a lot of low-level magic that they trying to dress up. It's really pimps and hoes, okay? Let's talk about the old game, pimps and hoes, okay? Oh, that's all it really is.
Right. King Dingaling. King Dingaling. Yes. My sister got away with words.
They just be swinging their big balls. And just like, okay.
Yes. Sex energy must be mastered. Absolutely right. Work on yourself first.
I have had somebody tell me I have to get control over mine. Okay. Let's be real. You told me that. You was like, you go, Crystal, you got to make sure you stay in control of this. Okay. Okay. You know, it's the energy. Okay.
Right. Somebody wants to know your page again. It is the Triple Goddess Network. Crystal's page. I'm sorry, I keep saying your actual name. I don't know if that's cool with you or not, but
that's cool because for a long time the page was called Crystal Williams, so you knew my name.
Oh, okay.
I'm not one of the occultists that's out here trying to hide their past or hide who they are. Like I am. This is who I am.
Right. QD Galore was asking for your page again. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Scientific is on. What's up, woman? Finally caught me live, huh? Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, this talk about sex magic and tantric sex and relationships has been interesting.
Yeah, yeah. We going on what, an hour and a half now. After we had some technical
You got
issues
deep.
with
That was just Mercury making it interesting.
like I said though, there are mantras that you can use to help you through a retrograde. Any planet. Um, there's so much you can do, but like I said, since it's my ruling planet, I, it still affects me. So I just go with it now. You know, I'm like, fuck it, whatever happens. I just stay away from people though. I don't go to Walmart. I don't go to no fucking grocery stores. I stay away from people. So
It makes a person more introvert when it's your ruling planet that goes into the retrograde, you know. Like when Jupiter was retrograde earlier this year, I felt more introverted. I didn't want to be around people. I was, wanted to be more to myself. So that's why it tends to have that effect on you, because it's your ruling planet. And then you get a double dose this time because it's conjuncture your moon. So
yes,
it really
I
touches
feel
the emotions.
my wife can say something real simple to me, and I just feel anger building up. I'm like, okay, bring it back. She doesn't mean anything. You know, it's just, it fucks me up. I ain't gonna lie, it really does. So,
Queen of Swords says she's got 5 planets in Virgo in her chart. So yeah, you definitely want to pay attention to when Mercury goes retrograde.
hell yeah, 5. God
Yeah,
damn.
that's a lot. That's a lot of Mercury.
Damn. Shit. Yes, and fake spiritualists claiming that they are talking to spirits. Beware, folks. One more time, though, your intuition is never going to steer you wrong. That gut feeling is always right. That first impression you get is always the correct impression. Follow that. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
some people that I didn't get a good vibe from. Like, they was acting all nice and shit, but the feeling I was feeling was like, this motherfucker is not right. And that's how I tell you. Prime example, I was at a club one night and there was this guy, he was a little neighborhood bar, and so I would see him all the time, but he had never like hit on me, but he had hit on me that night, and I was like, ooh, his energy is off. I was like, He went home the next day. I found out he went home and killed his damn baby mama.
That night, huh?
Yeah, that same night he was trying to talk to me. I was like, motherfucker, was you in a homicidal or maniac mood? You was trying to take me with you or something? Like,
Yeah.
the hell? Good. I was not receptive to you because you got some homicidal tendency. You needed to work out. It could have been me. You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Yes, yes. That's a great example. Shit.
Pay a bitch and shit like that. Like, no, thank you. I'm okay. I'm really good on that. Okay. Literally, he went home and killed this girl. Okay.
Damn. So that could have been you that night.
Yeah.
Oh, that mercy. But you carry protection with you anyway, though, right?
I do, and I carry common sense with my black ass too. Let me tell you something. It ain't no good for y'all to go do spells for protection and then you ain't got no goddamn common sense.
Right.
Okay? You go do a protection spell, but you go jumping in front of a damn car. Oh, I got protection. No, bitch, you about to get hit. Okay.
Yeah, that's like me having all this protection and having crystals in my pockets and Mojo bags, and then go to a redneck bar in Texas where I'm at, just looking for shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's not that don't make any kind of sense. Still be careful. Still have common sense.
We gotta apply that to dating again, because I'm gonna tell you, there has the rules of engagement. There are none. No one follows any rules. No one has any standards anymore. So it's just do whatever, however. And sometimes you need some rules. Okay. Sometimes those rules and standards weed out motherfuckers. Okay.
Well, I mean, people are doing a lot of it for money too, because people are easily led. And people are looking for the next big thing, the next person to follow.
Anything for money.
Yeah, I mean, I never got into this. It was never in my intention to do this for money. You know what I mean? So
a person who
use the discernment.
for money is dangerous. And they should not be trusted because they can be easily manipulated to do things. Okay. So, you know, they're in that people thinking that, and I think that's a really big thing, especially with like in the melanated community. Like there's this whole big move where it's like, you know, let's become a sugar baby, and as long as I'm getting some money out of this, then it's worth whatever it is that I'm dealing with. And it's like sometimes, like I said, look at Anna Nicole Smith. Yeah, you had some time that you enjoyed, but look at what you lost. What was the consequences? Like sometimes
she was only
taken on.
She was only what, like 28 or something like that? She was really young, right?
Young when she died. She was, I think she was either 27 or 28. She was young when she died. Okay.
Yeah. So was it worth it?
I don't know, because not only did she die, but like I said, her son died first. He died first, and then she died. So she had to suffer that death first. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes I feel like they have programmed a lot of shallow materialistic things into our women because they want to use that to manipulate and control her. And I feel like if a woman if her whole self-value is based on how much money or what material things she's getting out of a man, and she doesn't have any self-value within herself, no standards, that man can manipulate you and have you doing all kind of shit. Okay, have you all fucked up? Same thing for a woman in a man in that reverse situation, but you don't often find men in that situation. Sometimes you got men like that, but generally it's women. So you've compromised yourself, right? You've taken on, God knows, this is how some women end up being sacrifices for some of these men. You ever want to know why sometimes these people who deal in these darker arts and they bring you in, like you said, to drain you, to offer you, okay? And they don't have, when they offer you, they don't have to take you in like you see in these movies and then go slit your throat and offer you up right there. Sometimes the offer is your soul and they come collect later. You know how you see in the movies where, like, you know, the person takes you and they go do that sex ritual and then they kill you right away. Like, not to say that that doesn't happen, because that does happen. Okay. That, do you know how they find in Hollywood, that they find in Atlanta and in these kind of places, like these traffic people, they're just roadkill, they're just sacrifices. Some of these people, guess what? They started out at the top of the food chain, right? They was the gig girls. They was, you know, getting money, and then what? They downgrade your melanin. Next thing you know, you that bottom bitch. You don't, now you sacrificed off. Okay, because now they're coming and collect your soul. They fed off it all they could. They've drained you of all they could. And now they're coming to collect.
Yeah. Our age group and younger seem to think they can be with a person for little effort. This is what Tawanda says. She also says she didn't have a sugar daddy. She had a living corpse. His son was old enough to be her father. See, I don't remember all these details. Y'all are filling me in on that one.
About who?
Anna Nicole Smith. We're still talking about her.
Yeah, he was decrepit. That man looked like a skeleton. Okay, yeah. He looked like a skeleton in that chair. Okay. Prime example. That's an exaggerated form of what we're saying, but this is what is happening. And sometimes you can be like a person, leave that person, and you can be left with those wounds and those scars and those spiritual afflictions for a long time. So you only had, you know, a couple interactions with this person. I've had to separate people from some of this stuff, like, and what it does to the person's life, to their health, is not good.
I did a lot of that kind of work.
Separated.
Yeah, I did a lot of that kind of work last year, cutting cords, separating people, a lot. So yeah, it happens. Look, like Mrs. Scientific says, stop eating plates from just anyone.
I've been there, did that. I never did that.
Yeah.
People like, you cook, that's fine. I'm at your house. Yep, that look good. I'm not eating it. I had people be like thinking I'm funny acting because I won't eat at their house.
But they go with that intuition again, though. You know, you gotta pay attention to that. Your body knows. Your auric field knows. It picks up energy. Anna Nicole Smith idolized Marilyn Monroe. I was watching something on TV that said people thought Marilyn was reincarnated as Nicole. Yeah.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no thoughts on
People
that.
do reincarnate.
I don't eat at everyone's house either. I think we're all caught up on comments. If we missed any comments, it wasn't intentional. Y'all are going kind of fast.
Also a lot. Also.
Magic,
Lots.
also lots, not all. I'm sorry, was you reading that one?
Yeah, I was trying to at least, but I think I must have misunderstood what she said.
Lots, not all, of people who have problems with incubus and succubus have been molested as a child. Actually, I've summoned a succubus before. I wanted to see how good my Latin was, and I wanted to experience that energy, you know. So
Pombagira is considered to be a succubus.
Mm-hmm. She is in all her forms. She's that. Now that's a bad bitch. I can say that one. Pombagira. Oh yeah, absolutely. Not no. I know that. I know not everybody who has these kind of issues were molested. That's not always the case.
No, but can we talk about that since it's on the plate? Sometimes, especially when I see generational situations where there's either incest or there's generations of people who have been sexually abused, sometimes it is because there is some form of sexually deviant entity or energy attached to that bloodline. And this is a part of why some people, like for instance, when you think about criminal law, they say that rapists are high recidivism rate, and it's hard to reform a rapist. One of those reasons sometimes is because these people have deviant entities or energies attached to them, and it is fueling this behavior. They're feeding, okay, on this energy, and they may even have more than one entity attached to them. This is what I've seen because I do a lot of healing work, and I tend to come across a lot of generational issues within families. And one of the major ones that I have found is generational issues with sexual abuse.
Okay. Interesting.
So Chiron right now, which is considered to be the wounded healer, is in the sign of Aries right now, retrograde. And then we have Mars retrograde in Aries, and Aries is about lust, it's about passion. So it's about healing those generational issues, those sexual dysfunctional generational issues, especially all this is going on, like I said, while Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio. So this is the underlying issue. This is the underlying issue where some people are not having either good relationships or good sexual experiences because there's this past of sexual abuse. And sometimes it runs really deep within the family, and that stuff needs to be healed. This is the type of stuff that's been underneath the surface that we need to first talk about so that we can air it out, so that we can begin to heal and release that, because there's an entity, Willie Lynch did a real good number on us. The curse of Willie Lynch, some of that is real. For real life is a curse. For real life, there are entities. And I'll tell you something that's happening right now. Because of the way that the planets are going, a lot of times people sometimes have things that have went dormant in their bloodline. And right now, when you go through a state of purification where the earth is pushing up all the impurities, they have to come to the surface for healing. So a lot of people have a lot of things that has been either went dormant or were stagnant within their bloodline is getting woke up in people. So now they're experiencing this pain and this dysfunction, and this stuff is coming up. That's why we're hearing about it all the time. You said it yourself, all of this sex trafficking and all of, it has to come up to the surface for healing, because all of this stuff had been suppressed, right? And the spiritual part of it is, I think, what people don't always understand.
Speaking of Mars, did it go direct yet, or is it still in retrograde?
No, it won't go direct, I think, until November, around like the 14th or 15th. Don't quote me, but somewhere mid-November.
Okay. So we got Mercury retrograde now, and is any other planet going retrograde right now?
We got Mars, we got Mercury.
I meant besides those two.
I think Neptune. The other ones went direct. Pluto went direct. Saturn went direct. Jupiter went direct. So for a while, we had a real fuck show going on where it was like everything was retrograde.
Yeah.
For a while, it was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. We got 2 more weeks to have my favorite part of the year. Well, the whole October is my favorite part of the year, but almost All Hallows Eve. The veil is already thin, so take advantage. Do those rituals. Do some fucking. Release. Pluto is what Swords Witch says. Pluto.
I believe Pluto just went direct like 1 or 2 days ago. It just recently went direct. It was retrograde though.
Okay. Okay. Did we think we covered quite a lot. Did you have any closing thoughts or
Um,
suggestions or
take advantage of this energy. If you know that you have some wounds that you need to heal, whether they're related to sexual issues or just suppressed things on an emotional level that you need to heal, this is the time to be proactive. It's not the time to ignore whatever comes up, because for the next couple of weeks, you may have some things that come up. It's time to go deeper. It's time to go underneath the surface level of whatever that you've been dealing with and get to the root of it. Magic LaCroix gives wonderful readings. I give good readings. Sometimes you need to have somebody look at your situation and help you to get a greater level of understanding of what's going on in your life. This is a good time to seek out spiritual healing. So I do Reiki. I know there's other people that perform Reiki and different healing. This is a wonderful time to have Reiki done, healing energy work done. If you do work on yourself, do work on yourself. If you have a mate, this is a good time to begin to practice your sex magic, your tantric sex. You know, tap into that energy, make your oils, invoke your deities, light your candles, put your herbs and incense, light your, your incense, set your intention, and channel and heal yourself. We can heal ourselves, right? Sex can be a healing therapeutic experience, but when you do it with somebody in a negative way, it can drain your energy. So it's about using this power, but using it responsibly, and just submitting to the energy. Because if you try to resist it, Mercury doesn't like when you resist.
not at all? We have a question, but I'm not sure I understand the question. It says, how long do we have sex? What's the deadline? Can you elaborate on this question?
Do you mean like during your sexual act, how long do you need to have sex for it to be valuable?
Yeah, that's a kind of open-ended question.
Everybody gonna have different experiences. Some people is, a little
Yeah.
short. Some people gonna be a little long-winded. You know what I mean? It's just
Say long-winded. I gave the tips earlier, gentlemen. Zinc is good for it reproduces sperm.
unless you got that whap on them, you know what I'm saying? And he can
And then
came
they
up
just
with
gonna. I love October. That's my favorite month, and I also like June and July for some reason. But yeah, October because of what it signifies. Now, I mean, I know it seems weird. I'm a melanated man who loves Halloween and October, but it's because of everything occulted that's attached to it. It's the veil is thin. We worship our ancestors, acknowledge our ancestors, set them out feasts. You know what I'm saying? So much to this month.
Mm-hmm.
So guess I can't explain it. I'm not sure what I still don't understand what you sex magic. I mean, I
Yes,
don't get the
I can
question.
explain it.
Hey, look, I mean, if you're talking about sex magic, one of the simplest ways to do it is to have sex and have a goal in your mind, especially when you're going to have an orgasm. When you feel at that point of no return, have that thought in your mind at that very moment, at that moment of climax.
So Chanel Virgo asked, what do you mean when the veil is thin? So when we say the veil, we're talking about the separation between this realm and the spirit realm. When I think the veil starts to thin, to me, after the equinox, because the daylight hours shorten. And a gateway, a portal begins to open. It begins to open the space where there's like a space that's usually between the spirit realm, the astral realm, and this realm. That space is no longer there. So spirits, it's easy for them to communicate. It's easy for them to influence you within this reality. Sometimes spirits don't have a lot of energy. Like, spirits need energy too. They need energy to manifest. They need energy to do things. This is why sometimes when you feel the spirit around, it gets cold, because the spirit is absorbing the infrared energy that's in the environment. So it puts out this cold energy, right? So they need energy too. So when the veil is thinner, it's easier for them to interact. It's easier for them to be in this plane. So you get more activity. You know what I mean? There's more spirits. They believe Samhain today, Halloween, like what part of Halloween belief is that on that day, a spirit can take a physical body. So on the day of Halloween, they believe that a spirit can come and walk in that body. So this is why they would put those jack-o'-lanterns out to keep away the evil spirits away from their homes. So it was all ritualistic once upon a time. It's become commercialized to us now, but it was all ritualistic, and there were, reasons why these things were done,
There's a book called The Book of Halloween by something Kelly. It's a really good book. Goes into customs and traditions on the origins of Halloween. And what Oshun's saying right now is everything is in that book. I'll suggest that book. You can find me on YouTube, on Facebook. I can pass that off to you. It's a good thing, Channel Virgo, for people like us who are actually into the science.
Sometimes it comes with no consequence, because like lately I've been feeling like my bedroom is not quiet like I need it to be. That's why I told you, if you watch my channel, I showed you the camper blocks that I bought today, because I need to keep down this spiritual energy, because during this time, everybody talking. I go to sleep, I get ready to get in the bed, and boy, all I hear is all the spirits and all this, like, oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah. Sometimes it is a curse. In Crystal's instance, I mean, she hears really good. She sees really well. It just depends. Everybody has, like you said, different experiences. My friend is upset with me right now. I told her we need to have sex during this time before the retrograde ends. I think you're just trying to fuck, man. I think you're just trying to fuck.
I don't think that's gonna work. TWS, that ain't how it works. You can't just see. This is the type of shit that men do when they work on a woman's head. You manipulate, you use the dick, throwing that big dangling around in the spirit world. You know what I'm saying? You're like, come on, we gotta do this because the spirit said no. You gotta like.
That's some bullshit.
You gotta
just trying to fuck, man. Okay? I'm sorry. I ain't trying to make light of it. Yes, I am. You're just trying to fuck.
Tell the truth and shame the devil, okay?
Yeah, you're just trying to fuck, man. I mean, I'm so sorry. So anyway,
that took the whole cake. I'm gonna laugh about that some more when I get right. I gotta go find it. Nah, you didn't inspire me to go see it for myself. I gotta go see that. Oh my
God. The retrograde is for 3 weeks, so okay. All right, I'm sleeping.
You get some good laughs. You probably can find some good reasons to laugh, because I'm telling you, I haven't laughed in a while, but today has been good.
Yeah, it has been. Well, I think we're gonna have to get up out of here.
Yeah, we had a good share. It's been 2 hours just about, so.
Yes. We always have a good connection, a good show when we do it. So you will join me again, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, this is my sister Oshun Aset Mayat. I appreciate all of y'all for joining us tonight. Her channel information, one more again, is Triple Goddess Network. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the description box. So anybody who wants to find her, I'll put all her information, her Facebook information. If you want to get a reading from her, she's great at it. She also does good Reiki. I always Yeah. So y'all can hook up with her. I'm glad you learned a lot, Brown Sugar. We're gonna have to say farewell for now. And see y'all next time. Thanks for being in here, sister. I appreciate you.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace.